Hello, hello. I am super excited to share something with you because there is a strong possibility that your self care is failing you. Yes, it's not working. It's just not giving you the support that you need for your well being. It's not providing you the energy or the boundaries that you need to sustain your level of high peak performance. It's not working for you. And especially if you are a high achieving woman who leads in multiple spaces, meaning that you're leading probably in your career, you're probably leading in the community, and you may also have your own business where you are leading and growing. So you are a multi-graced woman, you're a multi-passionate woman. And at the end of the day, honestly, your self-care is not giving you what you really need it to give you. And it could possibly actually be failing you. Lean in, let's have this discussion and find out how you can begin to change some things in your self care. I am a great advocate for self care, but we're going to lean into it from a different perspective on today. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm Dr. Monique Flemings, and I want to share these tips with you because as high achieving women leaders, and this does not exclude men, but definitely for high achieving women leaders, it is often very challenging for us when it comes to this area of self-care. So what I want to talk about is your self-care. What are you doing right now in the realm of self-care? So when we think about self-care, automatically we think about maybe a spa day. We think about having some time for ourselves, hopefully. We think about having an opportunity to just decompress, hopefully to step away. Or you think about vacation. Oftentimes, when I am meeting with my clients and they come to me because their self care is actually failing them. And when I ask them what is their self care regimen, what are they doing for self care? They begin to tell me about the massages that they're taking, the vacations that they're taking, maybe the spa day that they are taking. And all of those things are so needed and necessary. Please hear me well. We need those vacations, we need those spa days. And I love a great massage. The problem is really looking at the perspective of self care and how we really integrate that into our lives. So, let me share with you the first thing that I want you to take away is that when we talk about self care, oftentimes self care is activities. Self care is an activity. You notice I just said self care is a spa day, it's a massage, it is maybe going on that vacation, it is maybe doing something for yourself. It's an activity. Great, needed, and necessary, but it's an activity versus what we're going to talk about how to really lean into something different. The second thing I want you to understand is that oftentimes when I think about self care, or when I'm talking to my clients rather about self care, they are telling me that self care is done in a response to something, is usually done in a method that is reactive. I've had a rough week, or I've had a long week, or I've had a big project that I've been working on. Now I need to reward myself with a spa day. Or I've been working long hours. I am going to reward myself with a vacation. I've been working really hard to meet these deadlines. I'm going to reward myself with this massage. Do you see how it is proactive? It is after the fact. And the problem is, if you are a high performing leader, if you are a peak performing leader, meaning you are in environments where you are always at the top of your game and the requirement for you to perform is constant, then let me help you understand that that massage after 2 or 3 weeks is definitely too late. It's been 21 days or 3 weeks or 2 weeks or 14 days. It's been constant stress on your body, on your nervous system. You've been going, possibly without getting adequate sleep. And then you put in a massage needed and necessary. But do you begin to see how it is now behind? So it's like running after the snowball, or running after trying to catch up with what has already been done, what has already occurred in your body because of the high intensity and the levels of cortisone and the levels of hormones that have been released to get us through those high intensity places and spaces. Let me share this with you. I'm a physical therapist, and I can remember early on in my career just being so super excited about what I was able to do, my new career. I'm stepping into it. I loved my patients. I loved the rigors of what I was doing, changing lives, impacting people. This is what I had gone to school for, and I absolutely loved it. I could not see me doing anything else in my life. Okay, you know how it is when you first start that career. The other thing I did not know, I did not realize that I could actually love something that was actually killing me. And I loved my career. I worked long hours. I worked overtime. I worked on the weekend. Why? Because I loved what I was doing. I was committed to my field. I was committed to my practice. I was committed to my patients. My patients came first. My patients came first to the point I almost killed myself because no one taught me how to create work life harmony. No one told me how to really prioritize myself. No one told me that I needed to rest, that I needed to sleep. So I will tell you early on in my career, I hit that wall several times. Physically, I hit that wall several times. Emotionally, I hit that wall several times, even spiritually, just because no one taught me. It wasn't modeled. And I just didn't know. I just thought, this is what you do. I'm a leader. I'm a giver. I'm a servant leader. I am a professional. And as healthcare professionals, we give to our patients first. The patient comes first. If you are a healthcare practitioner out there, let me know if this resonates with you. Yeah, this was some years ago, years ago. I've been in my practice now over 3 decades, and I'm glad to know that things have changed even when it comes to healthcare providers and healthcare practitioners, that we are learning a different way of taking care of ourselves so that we can really, provide the best care to our patients. But nonetheless, this is my story, and so I'm hitting these walls. I'm hitting all these things. Why? Because I did not know. Now, let me share with you, while I am working these 10-hour days and I am doing all the things. Oh, and I was actually doing all of this right after I started my career, and I was in school for ministry as well. So I was working 7 days a week. However, if you asked me if I was practicing self care, if I was taking care of myself, my answer would have been yes, just like my clients are when they come to me, because I was scheduling my massages, I was working out, I was doing all the things I knew to do as a physical therapist. So, yes, I am taking care of myself, but I really wasn't taking care of myself. Those massages were not enough to combat my 10-hour days, the level of hormones that were being released in my body because I was in constant production mode, constantly being on. I'm in my peak performance. Oh, and I forgot to tell you that my very first job that I absolutely loved as a physical therapist was at a level 1 trauma center. I loved it. So, do you see the perfect storm here? You see the perfect storm happening. I'm in a high intensity work environment. I love what I'm doing. I'm in school for ministry. Oh, yeah, I'm serving at my local church at the time. I am every woman and it's all in me. Can't you see that song kind of playing in the background? But I was setting myself up for failure, and my self-care was failing me. So I teach now what I've learned over the years, how to integrate my self-care, not just on the weekends, not just on a vacation, but I integrate now self-care every day. I have learned the principle of what I teach my clients, which is self first. Self first is different than self care. We've already talked about what self care is, and many people are very, very familiar with self care. But what is self first? So, self first is a mental clarity and a mental understanding of that I belong first. Self first is a lifestyle and it is a thought process. Self first is proactive versus self care, which is reactive. So I'm always making sure when I practice self first practices, I'm always making sure that I am putting the oxygen max on myself first before I do anything for anyone else. We know that because we hear it all the time when we are flying and when we are traveling, but do we really practice it every day? So, what does that look like? Well, for me now, it looks like I am taking time in my day, throughout my day, to make sure that I am getting what I need. I call them now my purposeful pauses. I am getting what I need to pull away, step away, and integrate these pockets of rest where I can decompress, take in some oxygen, calm my nervous system, and just even redirect my brain from being on all the time. It may look like getting up in the morning a little extra and doing some walking, doing some stretching, quiet time for myself, journaling. I love a good cup of tea, having that for myself as well. It may look like blocking off 10, 15 minutes on my schedule throughout the day while I step away from the computer and I again have some quiet time, have some time where I just do some stretching, have some time where I do movement. I know sometimes people don't like to exercise, but you could put on some great music and begin to get your body moving because movement will release hormones of relaxation and hormones to combat that stress. But you're thinking, I'm not under stress. I told you, I didn't think I was stressed out either because I loved what I'm doing. But when you love what you're doing, sometimes you will skip lunch. I know I would. I'll work through the day. I'll work through my lunch break. I'll work all day. And then I get up and I go, oh, wow, I've been sitting at my computer all day, or I've skipped my lunch, or I have not, gotten enough water in. Self first is a practice of making sure that throughout my day, I am integrating these pockets of rest. I know what you're thinking. You're like, it's not going to make a big difference. Yes, it will. Because if I can take 10 minutes every day just to get up and to walk, get up from my desk, stretch, move, step away, detox my sensory input. I call it a digital detox where I turn off my computer, step away from my phone, 10 minutes. I allow my brain to begin to rest and decompress. It's a big, big difference. If I do 10 minutes a day in my work day, 5 days a week, do you see how that time begins to add up? What happens is now I'm training my body to have a purposeful pause. I am training my body not to be going, going, going. And just like when we exercise, our physical bodies, your body will begin to crave exercise, believe it or not. I know people don't like to believe that, but I said, if you keep going, after a while, your body will crave exercise. It's the same way when you begin to start your day with a little bit of extra time for yourself, walking, doing whatever, you create a pattern and your body will we begin to crave this time for you to pull away and to step away. So self-care and self-first, they kind of go together, okay? But I cannot really sustain a certain level of peak performance just doing self-care. But I can sustain it when I do self-first, because if I'm practicing self-first, I am modeling my day around making sure that I have what is needed and necessary to support my well-being. As a leader, not only am I doing it for myself, but I'm modeling it now for my team. Your team will thank you. Your organization will thank you because now you come to the table a more rested person. You come to the table really more in tune to what's going on. You bring increased productivity and increased creativity. And when you come to the table and you have practiced self first, you see things very differently because you're not leading from a place of overwhelm and burnout. You're leading from a place of self-love, preservation, and you're leading from a place, hey, where you can even display resilience. I want you to practice that this week, but I want you to see the difference between self first and self care. And as a leader, I want you to start leaning into self first. Okay? Make it a great day. Thanks for hanging out with me. This is Dr. Monique Flemings. Remember, you can lead well. Yes, you can.